Hey, legends, and welcome back. This week, we're doing things a little bit differently, and we are doing a brand breakdown of some of the topics, conversations we're seeing in the brand world this week.
We are covering the PR response to the Astronomer Kiss Cam scandal. We're going into the new product launch for Liquid Death and everyone's favorite viral campaign, Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes.
Also, why it matters to you, what you can take away from it as a brand, what your brand takeaway is, and maybe even just a good thought starter, conversation starter for your next team meeting or dinner where you're not just talking about the weather.
Stay tuned to the end because we're also going to announce another brand for this year's festival coming up in October. We're less than 80 days out. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Here we are.
Hey, legends.
Hey, legends. We're trying something a little different today.
Trying something new, like our new set.
Yeah, new set.
I love it.
This.
Yeah, new lights. I'm not blue anymore, so that's good.
I miss the blue, but at least we're still in blue. We're still in some denim. We've got some denim representing.
I love it. I'm excited. We're switching it up. We're doing a little brand news roll up. Always thinking about how we can keep our finger on the pulse.
What the boldest marketers in the world of brand building, business creation are doing.
What the cool kids are doing.
What are the cool kids
I'm
doing?
not cool. Honestly, this job makes me really have to find out. Like, I have to leave my house, first of all. That's really hard.
It's so hard.
But always keeping an eye on what's going on.
Well, and I think like we live in an interesting time where it's hard to take any kind of bold step in any direction without hitting a nerve in culture somewhere.
Totally.
And the best people seem to be able to, pick what nerves they're going to strike, do it on purpose, do it with some amount of art, a deftness of touch. And win. And others seem to touch nerves and get zapped.
I feel like all PR is good PR, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit today.
Is all PR?
Is it? That is the question.
PR? Or maybe another way to ask it would be like, what do you have to do to turn
bad PR
into
good PR?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's
get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's get into I would say, like, what was the date? What day was it? But it was 2 weeks ago.
It's been
Everybody
a couple
woke up and their feed was full of clips from a Coldplay concert.
What's your favorite Coldplay song?
What is my favorite Coldplay song? It's got to be Fix You. That's the best.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Oh, so emo. I love it.
I know.
I'm into it.
I got a soft spot for it.
Yeah, we all woke up to our feeds with everyone making their own parody of the Kiss Cam moment. It was so good. It was so good. Made waves. Definitely sparked a lot of controversy. We don't need to deep dive into what happened. We all know what happened.
It was an unfortunate situation for everybody involved.
But there was a lot of controversy around it and a lot of attention on Astronomer.
Which I had never heard of. Had you?
No idea.
I'm not in the business. I'm not in a field where I need to know what Astronomer is as a brand.
No.
But I sort of know now.
Sort of.
Like I looked at it.
Yeah.
I tried to understand who they were, what they did.
This could have been a massive disaster, but they called up their buddy Ryan Reynolds, Maximum Effort. They do some great work. And Gwyneth Paltrow. And they released a cheeky little self-awareness campaign to ride the waves and to reframe the narrative. So should we roll the tapes?
Why don't we roll it?
Let's just roll the tapes.
Let's roll it.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300+ employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the experience of running data, ML, and AI pipelines at scale. We've been thrilled so many people have a newfound interest in data workflow automation. As for the other questions we've received, yes, there is still room available at our Beyond Analytics event in September. We will now be returning to what we do best, delivering game-changing results for our customers. Thank you for your interest in Astronomer.
Here's what I think about this. It's easy to forget, like when a moment like that, especially when it's the CEO, it's the leadership of the company. It's an unfortunate situation. It's much more unfortunate personally than it is corporately, but at least this kind of helps recenter the fact that there's actually a company here. There's 300 or some odd people that work at Astronomer, each of them devoting their care, attention, and effort to building a good product, building the business and all that stuff. And it is sort of a shame if the awareness of this issue kind of overshadows the actual good work that people are doing at the company. I love how this spot just recenters it and says, here's, chances are you know about us, you're not our customer, but here's what we do. So here are the things that we're actually focused on. Yeah,
it's just a reminder on how you respond really is so important to your brand equity and protecting that. And I think that they had the right amount of context and the right, like you could tell that it was, they were responding to the moment without saying it. So the right amount of cheekiness, I think, was great. Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, if you're going to get anyone to deliver your brand message, it's also
she's the one. She's the one.
Oh, it's great. But I think that they responded well with humor. It happened quickly, relatively quickly. And, I think it was a great example of how a great storytelling can help you take back your narrative.
20 years ago, there would have been sort of a stuffy
press release. A letter from...
Some of you had become aware of an unfortunate set of circumstances that occurred at a popular music concert. Like it would have been a completely vapid, empty corporate messaging response to something like this. And I think, first of all, nobody cares about your fake PR.
Totally.
No, or maybe it's not PR. I don't know. Maybe that's just comms. Nobody cares about your fake comms right up. You're in the situation you're in. You might as well leverage the attention.
Absolutely.
I think it was a smart play.
Attention.
Yeah,
absolutely. So the takeaway is don't panic.
Don't panic.
Pivot. Respond with humanity, with humor.
Right.
And speed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And remember that you're not trying to build a brand for everyone. You're trying to build a brand for your customers. And the chances are the reaction of zeitgeist doesn't actually matter that much. Unless you're American Eagle. In which case...
Let's move on to our next brand news roll up.
Okay, everybody, let's just acknowledge, first of all, that everybody's talking about this. Everybody's got a hot take on the Sydney Sweeney.
Has great jeans.
She has great jeans. Is it a double entendre or is it just straight shooting? She's got great denim. We're fans of denim at the gathering. So
we do love denim.
So for any of you that were maybe sleeping under a rock for the last couple of weeks and completely off of media, American Eagle came up with an ad campaign featuring Sydney Sweeney. The tagline was, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. It's her, I would say, rolling around in denim. Before we get into it, we've got a special commentary on this campaign from the one and only Chris Nealand. Chris, what do you think about the Sydney Sweeney ad campaign?
Yeah, thanks for caring what I have to say. I think I was one of the early bloggers that said something about it, and by noon I had 58,000 views and 200 comments. I just had no idea what sort of energy was pent up around this topic, and I to this day am surprised at both the intensity of the conversation but also just the duration I mean, the fact that we're still talking about this, I'm not talking about, that the CEO that was at the Coldplay concert with his HR lady anymore. And yet, that erupted around the same time. And, I think Trump mentioned Sydney Sweeney yesterday, and the stock took a huge bump up. And so I think maybe for your listeners, there's three things that I would suggest. The first is, I was completely surprised about this. My post actually wasn't that this was controversial. It was that influencers have a new person in town named Sweeney that's up there now with a Jenner or a Mr. Beast or, some of these other online influencers. I don't really get it, to be honest. I thought it was mediocre wordplay. I don't subscribe to the contention that it's somehow Nazi or white supremacist propaganda. I think that that's a real stretch, having been in the rooms. Owen, I know you've been in the rooms too, where ideas are ideated. I don't think somebody would have said, well, I wonder if this could be misinterpreted. And then somebody else would have said, no, let's do it anyway. I honestly believe that this has taken on a life of its own that is beyond what was contemplated when the ad was produced. At least that's what I choose to believe. The second thing that's, I think, even more important for people to start talking about now that maybe this story is climaxed is how great is American Eagle for how they let this thing play out. I mean, regardless of what we know or don't know about what they could have anticipated, the discipline by which they didn't just jump into the fray, they didn't overreact, they haven't pulled down. In fact, when they finally did respond, it was like 4 sentences, and it was essentially doubling down on She Loves Great Jeans. And they've showed a bit more diversity in their casting. But I actually think the bigger masterclass, just like with that with the affair at Coldplay and the Gwyneth Paltrow response, where they got a lot of cred for using humor and timeliness. I think American Eagle, God bless them. I'm sure their C-suite was going crazy, and there's all sorts of debates about would we, could we, should we, and they let it sort of ride. They let a lot of people come to their defense. They let a lot of the debate happen organically. And then I think they finally responded with a very sort of subtle, we kind of think this is a great idea. I think we can learn a lot from that and not just retreating. And then the third point that I'd love to make, I hope what this has also done is elevated marketers' understanding of what great marketing really does, because great marketing doesn't just produce ROI on a campaign. There's so much debate about brand versus performance marketing and long versus short, but it's all focused on like incremental sales boosts, like winning the weekend or winning the month. Like this conversation has started talking about brand equity, stock price valuation, and that's what really marketing should do. It's cute to increase sales by X%, but when you start inputting hundreds of millions of dollars onto the balance sheet in the form of goodwill, now you're having a meaningful impact on an enterprise. And I just think way too few marketers even think about their impact on brand equity or stock. They're just so busy trying to optimize open rates and click-through rates to get, a few extra percentage points on revenue. So those are my 3 biggest thoughts on the controversy.
They knew what they're doing when they knew absolutely what they're doing when they launched the campaign. And as they planned the campaign, I would say Sydney Sweeney knew what she was doing, and already, like, she knows what she's doing. She knows what kind of an icon she is. I think it was a bold move. I don't think it was a dumb move. I think it was a bold move.
I think they were selling her bathwater.
That was the Dr. Squatch soap company.
Okay.
So Dr. Squatch, yeah, and they like sold out. It was a crazy. I could pull up the stats on it.
Let's pull up the stats.
Let's pull up the stats on the Dr. Squatch campaign. Dr. Squatch comes out with a line of soap. I think it's like 8,000 bars of soap made with Sydney Sweeney bathwater. And it immediately sold out completely sold out. Very viral.
Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale.
Yeah. But I would say, she's popular right now. She's got the attention of, at least of North American culture. Men, women as well, probably.
Did the campaign backfire, or was it a raging success?
Raging success. I would say, but Dr. Squatch, no, their customer is mostly men, I would say. The buyers of their soap are mostly men. And so it is always interesting to me when you sell women's jeans using like a hot girl. Like, this is not a new strategy. This is like a
It's a time tested
Yeah,
strategy.
totally. People are talking about American Eagle. That's maybe what the point of the ad campaign was in general. Now I remember that American Eagle exists. It exists. I had forgotten.
Why is Gen Z so outraged?
Are they actually outraged, or are the writers at Brand Week saying that Gen Z is outraged?
Ooh.
No shade. I'm just curious. Has anyone asked a Gen Z?
So why does this matter?
Here's what I think about it. The ad campaign, whatever. It's a tried and tested trope of advertising to use a beautiful individual to sell your product. What I think American Eagle did really well was they didn't apologize. I think that this would have been an absolute, it would have gone down as a train wreck, a disaster of a campaign if they had flinched. And they didn't flinch. I appreciate that. Now, I will say, I predict American Eagle will carry this campaign forward, and that the next spokesperson will be a beautiful person of color. In the next iteration of the campaign. That would be my prediction.
So the brand takeaway is, if you're going to be bold,
don't flinch.
Go all the way.
Yeah. Don't apologize for placing maybe you should apologize sometimes, but this isn't one of those cases, I don't think. Do you think they should apologize?
No. I mean,
what are your thoughts on it?
Controversy creates headlines.
And what's the point of an ad campaign?
Attention.
Just attention.
Attention.
Yeah.
And I think that they succeeded in that.
They certainly succeeded. They did a great job of it.
But it depends what your intentions are. So as a brand, if your intentions are to connect with
Gen Z female,
like, you probably should run it through a filter of that. But that clearly wasn't their intention, or we wouldn't end up here.
That's enough attention for American Eagle for today.
Nike's You've Already Won campaign won my heart.
Okay, give us the background on this, because I had to catch up.
I felt deeply seen by this ad. That's all, or this campaign. That's all I can say.
I'm not here to inspire somebody else to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of like the deepest, places of your heart. There's a lot of people that make it to what they thought was going to fulfill them in life, and then you get there and all of a sudden you get to number one in the world, and then they're like, what's the point? And I really do believe that, because what is the point? You're like, why do I want to win this tournament so bad? That's something that I wrestle with on a daily basis. It's like showing up at the Masters every year. It's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? Why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know, because if I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to get to the next week, and it's going to be like, hey, you won 2 majors this year. How important is it for you to win the FedEx Cup playoffs? And it's just like, we're back here again, So we really do. We work so hard for such little moments. And, I'm kind of a sicko. I love putting in the work. I love being able to practice. I love getting out to live out my dreams. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't understand the point, because I don't know if I'm making any sense or not, but am I not? It's just one of those deals, I love the challenge. I love being able to play this game for a living. It's one of the greatest joys of my life, but does it fill the deepest, wants and desires of my heart? Absolutely not. That's why I talk about families being my priority, because it really is. I'm blessed to be able to come out here and play golf, but if my golf ever started affecting my home life, or it ever affected the relationship I have with my wife or with my son, that's going to be the last day that I play out here for a living.
Yeah. So I loved it. The post was of him and his son, and it just says, "You've already won."
Yeah.
And I think it just really is an acknowledgement to like the little moments and like the path, not just so much about the destination and the achievements. And yeah, I loved it. I felt deeply seen.
I liked it because I thought it was a smart play by Nike. It was nowhere near as controversial as Sydney Sweeney, but there were people being like, "What does he mean by this? What does he say? How are you going to win the Open and then say it doesn't actually matter? Like this is everybody here is what." It's kind of a slap in the face to everybody who watches you or who takes part in the sport from a spectator standpoint. They kind of got his words twisted a little bit. They didn't understand exactly what he was. I think his comments maybe were taken out of context. And then Nike comes in and with a single sentence, they sort of bring his message into focus properly. Well, this is what he actually meant, was that this is what matters more.
You've already won. Yeah. And then the swipe is, but another major event never hurt.
Yeah. And that was a major.
Like no one's upset about the additional win. Like that's fine.
It's good to win.
It's good to win. We love winning, but it also just acknowledges so much more. Which I
totally.
Love.
Well, and I think that the default setting in anything like sports related, like when you're a brand that's sponsoring an athlete and your athlete wins or has their moment, it's like champions and performance and dedication and all these
doing more and sacrifice and
I think I don't know. I don't want to say that everyone's tired of that.
It's a yes and. It's an and now. Like I think that's what we want is an and.
Yeah.
Show me that you do that and
that you're a human being.
And you're a human. Yeah.
It's much more powerful to relate to someone at the apex than it is to just aspire to be them.
And Nike is just masterful at like the 3 or 4 word. Like just, they can say it so
Good
well.
Job, team at Nike.
Good job, team at Nike. Love it. I think the brand takeaway is how can you lead with emotion and really meet your audience where they're at.
Yeah. And recognize the humanity of things. Like we actually relate to human beings, not just to like the idea of a champion.
Totally.
We do relate to the idea of a champion.
Yeah.
We like that. We aspire to it. That's, I would say, deep core psychology. But, there's a time to just be human.
Totally.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Now, okay, line them up. We got Astronomer dealing with attention. We got American Eagle dealing with attention. We got Scotty Schaefer dealing with attention. Who did it best?
Ooh. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Like, I don't know what the total views on Astronomers are, but I'm just looking at this 200 million market value bump from American Eagle.
Yeah. And does that mean anything?
Does it mean anything?
Hard to say.
4 billion impressions? I don't know.
It's too early to say whether their sales will be positively impacted. They're having a hard year.
It depends how we're ranking who did it best. For brand equity? For attention?
For commercial results?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll have to almost come back to it. I kind of want to do a revisit maybe in like when the quarter's results come out and they publish their sales numbers. I'd like to see what actually happens.
I'd like to see where Astronomer is going to be in a year.
Yeah, maybe they're...
Can't wait to see who the new CEO is.
Out with the old, in with the new.
All right.
Okay. Here's a great one. Let's talk F1.
F1's fan base goes feminine and brands are taking notice.
Right. So earlier this year, F1 it was a team that struck a deal with Elemis. Elemis, am I saying that right? Elemis, which is a UK skincare brand. And I think it's all kind of in this recognition. There are other brands that have gotten into it too. Charlotte Tilbury.
And
Wella. Both female-oriented brands engaging with the sport of F1 in recognition that about 40% of the fan base for F1 is now female in what has been like for 70 years a male dominated sport.
Well, you know what? That number shocked me at first. And then when you think about it, it's kind of a family event.
Like you said, the whole family.
Yeah, like the whole family goes. So it makes sense. I feel like it's just an untapped market, but to me it makes sense. The women are there taking the kids with their husbands, with the family. It's family affair.
I've never really thought about F1 racing at events as a family affair before, but maybe they are.
I have a friend whose son is really into racing. So my bias is completely like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. In 2019, Drive to Survive, an incredibly successful Netflix reality docuseries on the behind the scenes of the F1 circuit, comes out. And it exposes F1 to an entirely new fan base. Mm-hmm. Within a couple of years, they had added $1 billion of value. Nearly, I think they within a couple of years had doubled the value of the F1 sports ecosystem, all through good content. So it's a really interesting case study in content, in building out loud, and just behind the scenes, deep. The narrative surrounding the actual sport and the race. As a result of that show, there was like a 30% increase, or sorry, 30% of their viewership moved to Gen Z. Gen Z.
Interesting.
So there was a huge shift to younger demographic as a result of it. And I think we're seeing now this sort of like shift or equalization in sort of terms of like 40-60 split between females and males watching.
Interesting. Women's sports in general, like it's not a moment, it's a movement. They're here to stay. And I think brands are really looking to support and uplift and empower and be a part of that. So we're seeing more and more.
Yeah. So what are we trying to say about the F1 thing? I think that first of all, brands should like the transformation that sport has gone through over the course of the last 6 years is remarkable. It opened up their relevance to entirely new audiences. And it's cool to see that when you do that, there's value creation for a variety of different brands. So doing something cool, engaging this vision around the Drive to Survive, and inviting a whole new group of people into the sport is sort of like the first act. The second act is all these brands becoming aware of it and finding interesting stories to tell in the midst of it to connect with their audience wherever they are. Know where your customer is.
Know where your customer is.
That's the point.
I think that this is a big opportunity for brands.
Yeah, I think so, especially and the first movers too. Like I think eventually it's going to be just another media buy, but the ones that go first and sort of they're on the front lines of culture. They know where their customers are moving to, and they get there first. There's an advantage to that. It's like a first mover's advantage in culture, in the changes and the shifts of culture.
Totally.
Yeah, very cool.
Love it. Invest in women's sports. All right. Next up is everyone's favorite brand.
Everyone's favorite brand.
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
I didn't know this, but I watched the masterclass with Mike Cesario recently.
Oh, was it good?
Liquid Death. Really good. 75% of their revenue is tied to their non-water beverages. I did not realize this. I've never tried one of the teas.
What do they sell other than water? They have teas.
Teas.
Different flavors of teas.
Different flavors of teas.
Was that original or was that a new product that they
It's new.
New product.
They started with the water.
Yeah.
Very strategic, right? And now they're going to be entering the energy drink arena.
Look out, Red Bull.
Look out, Red Bull. 100%.
It's if there was a brand that could really compete at Red Bull's level, I feel like Liquid Death.
100%.
They create viral, engaging content. It's very short form. They do cool things.
Their cult following is insane.
Strong,
like the
very
amount of people that have Liquid Death tattooed on their body. Their tagline is "Murder Your Thirst." They did a collab with Yeti where they literally had a coffin.
Yeah, that was awesome. The coffin.
The coffin
Pull that up.
cooler. Who can get away with this? Liquid Death and Yeti. This market's $23 billion energy drink market.
And so far, all energy drink marketing revolves around extreme sports in some way. Like it's like a fight for what extreme sport Monster can get involved in, or what extreme sport Red Bull can just invent out of nowhere, like riding your bicycle off of a like elevated platform into the ocean, that sort of thing. But how if you had a prediction, how does Liquid Death enter the energy drink category? What are they going to do? Are they going to follow the same path that everybody else follows?
Definitely. I don't have a crystal ball on that, but I definitely say they're going to do it unconventionally.
Unconventional.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's a lifestyle play. Like I think people are making different choices. This is a culture of moderation now. People are not drinking so much. They want alternates to their coffee. Energy drink. Start your day with Liquid Death.
Ooh.
I don't know. Could be a thing. I'm not sure I'm cracking one open at 8 a.m., but for sure that afternoon pick me up.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. Like Red Bull came around and invented this category, which is just also crazy to think about. Like 20 years ago, it was a $0, did not exist category, and now in 2025, it's a $23 billion category. Red Bull still hasn't touched a can. They don't make any of the product that they sell. They just do media, which is interesting, I think. But the things that had to happen to create the category were really out of the box thinking. And I think that, to grab a significant amount of that market share, it's going to require the same sort of out of the box thinking. And I look forward to seeing it. I think they're always trying something different. They've got a different take on things. They zig where other people zag. Mike seems like a very good leader of their culture and team. Because it's not a one-person show, but certainly they're following his lead, it seems.
Totally. Yeah, and I think it just goes to show like how a well-positioned brand can enter new products.
Yeah.
And, they've done so really strategically over time. I think they're well-positioned for success here.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm
certainly cutting through the noise.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing from Mike at the gathering one day.
Mike. Come to the gathering.
Bring
your coffin. Well, actually, Liquid Death, this year, we are doing the flash tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
We want to see if you're a Liquid Death fan, you'll be able to get a Liquid Death logo tattooed on your body permanently.
The best. Do you, Mandy, agree that you will get a tattoo of the most compelling brand story you hear at the gathering? Like whatever that brand was? You'll get a tattoo of it?
I cannot confirm or deny this.
That's what I heard.
But I will get a tattoo.
You're going to get a tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Is it going to be one from the list, or are you going off list?
Well, I'm going to add my own.
You're going to put your own in there?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Viewers, listeners, if you have an idea for a tattoo that should be added to the list at the Gathering Flash Tattoo Parlor, you can let us know.
Slide into our DM.
Slide into the DMs.
Yeah.
And we'll do what we can to add it to the artist's repertoire before the event. Very excited about the Flash tattoos. What else are you excited about at the gathering? As we get closer and closer, I think that it's always so fun to see the visions start to take place and become more crystallized and more something I can picture, I guess. We're less than 80 days out from the festival. Anything in particular that you're looking forward to?
Top of mind, just because I've been really working on experiences, like the moments between moments the last couple weeks. Really excited for how the night gatherings are shaping up. Really great connection opportunities, and having traveled so much to so many other events this year, and really feeling like it was hard to kind of break in and meet people. I realized how valuable it is that we do this for people, and we have these like smaller, intimate opportunities for people to come together and connect, share a meal together, break bread, connect.
Yeah.
that I'm really excited for how those are coming together.
Yeah.
And like, just the smaller elements, the opportunity to go have meaningful connection, debrief the day, meet new friends, bring, your current friends out. So really excited for that. And then the community coming together. Now that we're approaching the groundswell is like, we're feeling that hype from everyone else. Like, oh, I'll see you at the gathering. The comments are now like, oh, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
What about you?
We've been doing a lot of work on the Brand Hall of Fame stuff, and it's allowed me to get to know the stories of some of these really amazing, iconic brands more closely. Like, I've always been aware of Fender. I play guitar. I love the brand, but I had never really dug deeply into their history and sort of all of the firsts that they created in market. Same with Gatorade. Red Bull, we talk about Red Bull as inventing the energy drink category, but what would you like? Gatorade is like performance beverages, like it's like an athletic performance drink. It was the first to ever do that, first to ever think about like, hey, we need to do hydration differently so that athletes can perform at a higher level. So it's so neat to hear these stories, and I'm really interested. I'm looking forward to the gala. It's an evening where we have a chance for everybody to get together, sort of share a meal, like you said, break bread together, but recognize and honor some of these iconic brands that have not just succeeded, but have changed culture in meaningful ways and set new precedences, broke trails that other people follow. And I think that's cool. So far, we have announced Gatorade, Fender. Have we announced Amex yet?
We haven't. You just did.
Wow, sorry. We are happy and excited to announce Amex as a brand that we're honoring and inducting into the Brand Hall of Fame this year.
Absolutely.
So cool to hear their story.
And there's 2 more. So we'll share with those with you next week.
Yeah, just dripping about one at a time.
Trip.
Amex, by the way, first card to introduce loyalty points, basically, like reward.
I go to the airport early when I know there's an Amex Centurion lounge.
Really?
Yeah.
Membership has its benefits. Interesting. It's very bougie of you to go to the Amex lounge.
You heard it here. I'm bougie. That's it for our first brand brief.
Yeah. The brand brief breakdown. No?
The brand brief breakdown.
Okay, we'll
break it down.
Name is in development. If you have suggestions,
comment below what we should call this.
Yeah. What's the biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway. Let's see. Takeaway. How you respond is everything.
How you respond is everything.
Yeah. To the moment.
Yeah. Responding to the moment.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the moment where we are together in Banff, learning from the greatest, boldest, brightest leaders out there and winning the future together.
Until next time. See you later, legends.
Hey, did you like this episode? Make sure that you subscribe to The Gathering podcast. You can follow us on social as well, where we break it down into shorter versions than the full show. And if you've got news, ideas, bold campaigns that you've seen that you want us to cover on the show, hit us up in the DMs. We'll make sure that we get it into the program.